remember the day they told me I was worthless. Not with harsh words, but with cold stares, silent judgments, the kind that cut deeper than any scream. My own family looked at me as if I were a burden, a mistake. I was just a child then, too small to understand why I was cast aside, why the whispers followed me everywhere, why my tears went unnoticed. The bullying wasn't just in school. It was in the eyes of those who were supposed to protect me. My parents, my siblings, they all saw me as a disgrace, a failure that reflected poorly on the family name. I carried that shame like a weight around my neck, every taunt, every rejection etched into my soul. But beneath all that pain, a flicker of something fierce ignited. I decided I wouldn't let their judgments define me. I would prove that I was more than their hurtful words. I left home the day I realized I couldn't breathe under their weight anymore. I poured myself into my studies, into my work, into becoming someone they couldn't dismiss. Years later, I stood in front of a room full of colleagues, my heart pounding like a drumbeat of defiance. I had crafted a presentation from the depths of every scar, every tear I'd ever shed. This wasn't just about a promotion. This was about reclaiming my voice, my worth. As I spoke, I saw their faces, those who doubted me, who whispered behind my back, faltering, realizing I had become something they never expected. I was no longer the fragile girl they once mocked. I was unstoppable. And then came the family gathering, the moment I knew I'd been waiting for. I was no longer the girl they dismissed. I was a woman who had risen from the ashes of their contempt. I stepped outside, took a deep breath, and looked around at everyone gathered. My success was the loudest reply to every sneer, every dismissive look. It was poetic justice. The scars they once mocked now shimmered as medals of my resilience. My pain fueled my ascent, transforming betrayal into strength, weakness into power. That day, I didn't just walk away, I soared. I left their doubts shattered behind me, standing tall in my triumph. I had become what they never believed I could, unstoppable. And as I looked into the eyes of those who once cast me down, I knew my greatest revenge wasn't in words or confrontations. It was in my silent victory, in my unbreakable spirit, in the fact that I had turned my wounds into wings. I'm no longer the girl they humiliated. I am the woman they underestimated, and I will continue to rise, because no matter how deep the pain, resilience always finds a way to shine through.